Look at this light. It is soft, golden, almost warm, the kind of glow you could mistake for a distant star on a clear night. For decades, that is exactly what astronomers thought it was, a faint blue star, catalogued and forgotten. They were wrong by a margin the human mind is not built to hold. That light is not a star. It is the brightest continuous scream in the known universe, the sound of matter dying by the mass of entire suns every second without end. And it has been traveling toward you for over 10 billion years. We call the thing that makes it the largest black hole ever discovered. But you will never see the black hole. You will only ever see this, its scream, aged 10 billion years, arriving at a planet that did not exist when the light set out. TON 618 is not a black hole. It is a ghost. And by now, the thing that cast it may have grown into something we have no word for at all. If you want to keep looking into the dark between the stars, subscribe. What comes next only gets larger and worse. Everything you have ever been told about black holes says they are dark, silent, a perfect sphere of nothing, sitting cold in the vacuum, swallowing light and giving nothing back. For a black hole that has finished eating, that is true. It sleeps in the dark, invisible, patient. TON 618 is not sleeping. It is awake and it is feeding. And when a black hole this size feeds, it does not hide in the dark. It screams in the light. Around it turns a whirlpool of gas, dust, and the shredded remains of stars, millions of kilometers wide, spiraling down toward the center like water down a drain. As that matter is dragged inward, gravity crushes it against itself. The friction becomes so violent that the gas heats to millions of degrees and bursts into fire. It ignites into a storm of plasma brighter than anything else in the surrounding universe. We have a name for that fire. We call it a quasar. A quasar is not a star. It is a funeral. It is the blinding flash of matter in its final moment, torn apart, superheated, and swallowed. And TON 618 is one of the most luminous quasars ever found. It burns with the light of more than 100 trillion suns, not 100 trillion stars scattered across a galaxy. One object, one engine. It is so bright that it drowns out the entire galaxy it lives inside. We cannot photograph its home, the billions of stars around it, because the dying matter at its heart outshines all of them combined. The largest black hole we have ever found announces itself not with darkness, but with the brightest sustained light in the cosmos. A beacon made entirely of things being destroyed. To understand what is hiding inside that light, start with something closer to home. At the center of our own galaxy sleeps a black hole named Sagittarius A star. It holds the mass of about 4 million suns. Its shadow is wide enough to swallow our sun whole, with room to spare. For a long time, we thought a monster like that was close to the ceiling, the largest a gravity trap could reasonably become. TON 618 makes it look like a grain of sand. It does not hold 4 million suns, it holds an estimated 66 billion. 66 billion. The number is so far beyond the black hole in our own galaxy that astronomers had to invent a new category just to describe it. Not massive, not supermassive, ultramassive. And mass, for a black hole, is not just a number on a page. Mass is size. The heavier it is, the wider the point of no return. The event horizon, the edge past which nothing, not even light, can ever climb back out. The event horizon of TON 618 is roughly 390 billion kilometers across. Try to place that against something real. Take our entire solar system, the Sun, every planet, the vast, cold orbit of Pluto at the edge, and set it down inside TON 618. It vanishes. The whole system, from the Sun to the last frozen world, would fit inside the darkness with room left over on every side. It would not even reach the walls. Light itself, the fastest thing that exists, would need weeks just to cross the shadow of this single object. This is not a star that collapsed. It is a hole in the universe the size of a solar system, and it is still open. Everything terrifying about TON 618 so far is a matter of scale. The next part is a matter of physics coming apart. Imagine approaching it, not falling in, just drawing close enough to see. Long before you reach the edge, the sky in front of you would stop behaving like the sky. Light bending around the event horizon would wrap into a glowing halo, a ring of fire circling a wound of absolute black, made of rays trapped in orbit, caught in the last moment before they fall inward forever. And time would begin to break. Near a mass this large, gravity stretches time itself. To someone watching from a safe distance, a clock near the horizon would appear to slow, then slow further, then almost stop. Anyone falling toward it would seem to freeze at the edge, held there, motionless, at the border of eternity, while the rest of the universe raced on ahead of them into the future. The colors would fail too. As light climbs away from a gravity this deep, it loses energy and stretches toward the red. Bright white would slide into orange, then into a deep, dying crimson. It would look as though the black hole were bleeding the color out of the universe, pulling every wavelength down into darkness, one shade at a time. And past the horizon, past the point where light gives up, our physics simply ends. Every equation we trust points to a single place at the center where matter is crushed into infinite density and zero size. A singularity. A place where the rules that built everything you have ever known stop being true. We can describe the edge. We will never describe the inside. Nothing that crosses that line has ever sent a single word back. A monster this size does not sit quietly in its corner of space. From the poles of TON 618, twin jets of plasma erupt outward at nearly the speed of light. Beams of superheated matter flung from the black hole's magnetic engine. These jets are not small. Each one can stretch for millions of light years, longer than entire galaxies laid end to end. A single black hole reaching across a gulf of space so wide that its own beam of destruction dwarfs the galaxy that made it. They carry enough energy to rewrite a galaxy. Where those jets pass, they blow away the gas that stars are born from. They heat it, scatter it, and shut the nurseries down. A black hole like this does not only devour what falls in, it reaches outward and strangles the ability of its own galaxy to make new stars at all. It kills the future of everything around it. And the light alone is a weapon. If TON 618 were dropped into the heart of our own Milky Way, in place of the quiet black hole that lives there now, it would not be a faint point in the dark. It would blaze more than 20 times brighter than the full moon. It would burn through the night. It would flood the sky with a permanent sickly glare, drowning every constellation, erasing the stars our species has navigated by for as long as there have been eyes to look up. There would be no darkness left to see the universe through. The largest thing we have ever found does not share its sky. It rules it, sterilizes it, and lights it with the fire of everything it has already killed. Now comes the part that should not be possible. Not the size, the age. TON 618 sits more than 10 billion light-years away, and light, for all its speed, is not instant. It takes time to cross that distance. So much time that looking outward into deep space is the same as looking backward into the past. The light reaching us from TON 618 tonight did not leave last year or last century. It left more than 10 billion years ago, when the universe was young, less than a quarter of the age it is now. We are not seeing TON 618 as it is. We are seeing a photograph of it from the childhood of the cosmos. And here is where it stops making sense. Our best understanding says black holes grow slowly. They start small, and over billions of years they feed, swallowing stars, drinking gas, merging with other black holes, climbing toward greatness one meal at a time. But in that ancient image, TON 618 was already 66 billion times the mass of the Sun. It was already the largest thing we have ever found. When the universe had barely begun, there was not enough time. By everything we think we know, it could not have grown that heavy that fast. And yet there it is, burning in the young universe, fully formed, impossibly early. To explain it, we are forced to reach for things we cannot yet prove. Seeds of collapsing matter far larger than any star, or a way of feeding in the early cosmos that we have never witnessed and do not understand. The honest answer is that we do not know how TON 618 came to be. The largest object we have ever discovered is also one that our own physics says should not have had the time to exist. Return one last time to that soft golden light, the most beautiful beacon in the deep sky. Now you know what it is. Not a star, a funeral 10 billion years long for matter that died before the Earth had formed. And remember what light is. Everything we have said about TON 618, the scream, the scale, the jets, the impossible age, all of it describes the ghost, the image, the 10 billion year old echo still crossing the dark toward us. The real TON 618 is not there anymore. For every one of those 10 billion years, it has kept feeding in the dark, swallowing stars, drinking galaxies, growing in silence while its ancient light crawled toward a world that had not yet been born. Whatever it has become by now, we will never see it. The light of what it is today will not reach this part of the universe until long after our sun has died and the Earth is gone. We are staring at a monster that is already dead in the form we see, and already larger than anything we are looking at. It never knew we were here. It never will. We are not looking at the largest black hole in the universe. We are looking at its ghost. And the ghost does not look back.